Hi everyone, it's Stephen here for Bland Designs, and this is an acrylic pouring video number 9 and another experiment. And I'm doing something. I have one viewer who sent me a very extensive email about different things that I might consider and what I might try in acrylic pouring, and she's done an awful lot of research for this, and I really appreciate her sending this to me. She also sent links to various videos that she thinks might be helpful as well for working with cells or with acrylic paint in general. Her name is, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce her first name correctly or not, I think it's Giselle. And thank you very much, Giselle, because I know you'll be watching this. So the very first link she gave me was to a lady who does nothing more than uses water and paint to create her cell. She doesn't add any Flowtron or any silicone or anything like that. She's just using water and paint. So I watched her video, and I'm not really sure how she manages to get the cells with just the water. I know there is something, according to Giselle, that has to do with specific gravity about the paints. Now, I haven't done any further exploring of those, but I will. But according to what Giselle said in her email, titanium white tends to be denser than some of the other colors. And I'm just going to take a look here quickly. She mentions, let me see, where did I see this in her email? Just bear with me for a minute. I'm looking for this. May have been right at the very beginning. Oh yeah, here we go. She says that titanium white and carbon black tend to be heavier, I think she is implying. Yeah, titanium white is heavy, so should attempt to sink. She says the cadmiums are all heavy, and Mars black is heavy. So I think, I'm not sure. I haven't, like I said, I haven't gone into any depth here to explore this. I'm just itching to do a pour. Okay, so the white is heavier, so it would sink more. So when I do a dirty pour, I guess I want to put the white in last. Yes? I don't know. That's what I'm going to try. And I've got a purple and I've got a blue. Now they're all the same brand as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some of this, just a squirt of each, because I've got a very small canvas I'm going to do this on. It's a cheap canvas from the dollar store because this is an experiment. And I'm really not sure how much water to put in, except that it should be the consistency of cream, she says, of a heavy cream. Now, I bought this handy-dandy little device. Just let me get some paint off of my gloves here before I'm wearing it. This little device I got yesterday at a kitchen store. It's a milk frother, mixed drinker. And I just got a cheap one. I just want to see how this will work for stirring up paint. Whoa. Works pretty good, except I'm wearing it. Okay. I'm going to get a stir stick here because I got this all over the place. Maybe I need less or more. Stir stick. Bear with me, sorry. Okay. Got a stir stick, so let me just see the consistency. Still, I think it's a little thick, so I'm going to add a little bit more water. This might be better if I had a larger amount of paint. Okay, it's sort of creamy. Alright, let's mix up the next. I need to get a little, actually I've got some right here, I'll just use this. This is going to be my pour cup, but I'll get another one. I'm just going to clean off my okay, and let's see, this is the blue. First stir it with the stick a little bit to incorporate it. I think just a drop more. Tilt it a little bit, gives it a little bit more depth. That cup may not be the best thing to put that in. You can't see that, it's off camera, but it's a little top heavy, that little thing, and it might knock over the cup. Well, I'm living on the edge. Okay. So the consistency of this right now is it. Okay, we'll go with that. And then we have the purple. Now, Giselle also mentioned that people often, if they're going to store the paint, once they've mixed it up with water, they use distilled water. Because apparently our drinking water, and I have heard this, has certain bacteria in it which will cause your water to go funky over time. But I'm not keeping these, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. I think I've got a little bit more purple than I do blue and white. And yeah, this is going to tip over, so wash it off. Okay, so let's check the consistency now of this. This actually has a totally different texture. Okay, now I can see cells, but I think they're air bubbles from using that little aerator device, that milk frother in there. Let me grab a cup. And I'm going to put the purple on the bottom. I'm going to use it all. Maybe too much, I don't know. There's the blue. And the white. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go over to my other camera and do the pour. Okay, so I think I've got everything in shot. I've got my cup. This is my canvas. Remember, this is just a cheap dollar store canvas. So I'm just, shoot, that was not what I want to happen. I am such a klutz. Okay, let that sit for just a second. And I'll pour it up, pull it off. Just grabbing a paintbrush. Okay, here goes. Well, I'm not sure what I'm getting. Some of the white's coming up to the surface. Trying to get, I know you can't see this, but you see this white spot right in here. Trying to get that to extend a little further. I see bubbles happening in this, and I don't know if that's because of the agitation. I'm just trying to let this run across here a little bit more. There's some of the blue peeking up, but not a lot. I'm going to touch up these areas down in here. Sorry if my head's in the way. Making sure there's no bare canvas. Okay, need a paper towel here. Now, you probably can't see this on camera, but there's really no cells. There are some bubbles happening. I'm really purple. There's no two ways about that. I'm going to torch it. Not really getting, I'm getting a little something, but it's not major. So this is pretty, oh wait, I just got something there. Oh. I think I'm running out of gas. And I am, when you know it. Okay, I've got some cells, little tiny ones. Also got some bare canvas right here. It's very subtle, this one. I just wonder if I leave it for a minute or two, if anything else will come up to the surface. I still see a few things coming up to the surface. I'm going to pause the video, let this sit for a minute, and I'm going to refill my butane here, and then I'm going to torch it again. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I've refilled my torch, so I'm going to torch it again. You can see nothing's really happened in the couple of minutes I've been away. Oh, look at that. It's still subtle, but I can see cells. But not a lot. They're very subtle. Which might all have to do with the amount of paint that I've used on this and the amount of water. Well, Giselle, if you're watching this, I am going to have to do more research, okay? But as I said, this was just an initial try based on the information you gave me, and not all the information, okay? So I haven't done it all yet, but I will eventually. Actually, the more I look at this, it's kind of like a galaxy coming up. It's subtle. It's subtle. It's pretty, but not exactly what I was hoping for. I think I'll just let that run out so I can get some skin. Okay, so I'm going to do another experiment on this video as well, and I'm going to do something totally different. Not anything that came from Giselle. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. So I'll be back. Okay, so my second experiment today is I'm using Floetrol and alcohol this time. Now, I think I may have screwed up my recipe, and I didn't realize it until I got them all into these bottles. Now, I found these bottles at HomeSense, and they're meant for barbecue condiments, so I thought I'd use them for mixing up paint, and I'm going to do this as, I'm not sure what they call it. It'll be a pour. It won't be a dirty cup, dirty pour, or a flip cup. I'm just going to put strips of the color down on my canvas and then probably tilt it, and then I'm going to use the torch to it. So the original recipe was one that was based on Danny Clark's videos. Again, Giselle recommended him, and I have been watching his videos as well. And his formula is basically 25 milliliters of Floetrol, 5 milliliters of paint, and 2 milliliters of alcohol. So I use these little cups. Each of these little cups holds 25 milliliters up to the second last line, or second line down, 25 milliliters. So I use 2 of these, so 25 milliliters a piece equals 50, because I'm doubling the recipe. And then the alcohol calls for 2 milliliters of alcohol, so I doubled that, and that was 4. And I weighed these on my electronic scale that will convert things from poundage into milliliters. So when I put my alcohol in these, weighed it, got the right amount, and that's what I used. But here's where I blew the recipe. The recipe for paint calls for, if you're only using 25 milliliters and 2 milliliters of alcohol, it calls for 5 milliliters of paint. Since I'm doubling the recipe, it should be 10 milliliters of paint. I've got 50 milliliters of paint in these. So again, I did it by weight. And so I'm not sure what's going to happen, but it was a little late. I suppose I could add, well, let's see. If I did it, that's 5 times instead of doubling it. So I guess I could add, I've already got, so 3, I'd have to put 75 milliliters of Floetrol in here, and I'd have to put in another, let me write this down, people, got to do the math. Not usually that bad at math. Okay, so I'm going to need 75 milliliters of Floetrol to the 50 milliliters of paint. Need 75 milliliters more, right? Because it'd be 125, already got 50 in. Okay, and then I would need, if I was doing the 5 times be 10, I've already put 4, I need 6 milliliters of alcohol. Okay, I'm going to add those things to my mix here, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, my math completely stinks. All right, I'm thinking I had to put in 5 times, I had to put in 10 times more. So here's how the math works, okay? See if you can follow me along, because I'm having a hard time following along. If I was doing the basic recipe from Danny Clark, he uses 25 milliliters of Floetrol to 5 milliliters of paint to 2 milliliters of alcohol. I put 50 milliliters of paint in these containers. So that's 10 times the amount that he's using. So 25 milliliters of Floetrol 10 times is 250 milliliters of Floetrol, but I had already added 50 milliliters, so I had to add to each one of these bottles 200 milliliters more of Floetrol, and I've done that. Then the alcohol, it's 2 milliliters to 5 milliliters of paint, so 10 times the amount of paint I'm using. 10 times 2 is 20, but I'd already added 4 milliliters of alcohol, so I had to put in an additional 16 milliliters of alcohol into each one of these, and I have done that. I hope the math works for you. So now I've got substantial amount in here, and I have shaken them already, and I'm just giving them another shake now. And then I'm going to go over to the other work table, switch cameras, and I'm going to pour strips of these colors on it and see what happens. Stay with me. Okay, so here goes nothing. I'm using the same type of canvas as I used in the first pour, which, by the way, I'm looking at it over here, and it's just a pretty purple, but that's about all I can say about it. So we'll see what we have with here. So I'm going to start with the purple. Then some white. Then a little blue. Purple. White. Blue. Purple. White. I'm going to put a little more white over on this side. Okay. Now maybe I should swipe these. Maybe that's what I'll do. So let me get my palette knife. And I don't know, let's just see here. Getting cells. I can see them. Okay, let's hit it with the torch. Oh yeah, getting lots of cells now. But it's the Floetrol and the alcohol that seems to work the best so far. But I'm not done experimenting. I'm not going to give up on just using plain water with it all. But yeah, I like this much better. Just give it a little bit of movement. Okay. Just going to, oh good, knocked over one of my bottles of paint onto the carpet. Great. Just give me a second here. Clean that up. Okay. Such a klutz today. All right, I'm going to touch up the edges. I do like this one though. Much better than the first one I tried. I'm sorry, Giselle, I am not being a purist here. I broke down and added additives. But I haven't given up. I'm still investigating your ideas or the things that you found for me. Okay, sorry about my head if it's in the way. Now, I'm wondering about the storage of these paints. I'm going to leave them in the bottles, except I just discovered one thing about these bottles that I bought. There's no caps for them. They didn't come with caps. Yeah, that's why they were so cheap at HomeSense. So I'm going to have to improvise something. Might have some caps that'll fit laying around. Okay. I'm going to torch it one more time. Okay, enough of that. All right, so I think I got all my sides covered. Just taking a quick look here. And okay, I'm going to let them sit. I'm going to let them dry. And, well, I'll show them in a future video how they turned out when they dry. I am getting lots of cells in this one. This one I like. I like this one. The other one that's off here to my side, don't like so much. In fact, you know what I think I'm going to do? Okay, give me a second. Okay, this one I don't like. The only part of this I like is sort of the center part. I don't like the rest of it. It's not working, so I'm going to muck around with the paints I just used on the other one on top of this and see what happens. So I'm going to give it a little bit of white. I'm going to try doing it this way. A little blue, purple, do some white here, do some white up here, here, here. Blue, 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 a little more blue there. Purple, 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 white, white. Okay. Should I swipe it? Or should I let it run together? Well, let's try this. Okay. Okay, I definitely have cells. Let's torch it. Yeah, I'm liking this. Okay, I'm loving this. So let's get our sides touched up. saw a little bit of bare canvas there. I think I've got the sides done. Just look over here, sorry about my head. Say that a lot, don't I? Okay. All right. One more hit with the torch. Okay, I see a little spot of blank canvas right in. Okay, I think I'm good. All right. Liking that much better. And this one has a little bit more of the blue than the other one that I did a moment ago, which gives a nice contrast, but these two pieces would look good together. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with today's pour. Yes, okay, it didn't come out the way I started it out. Okay, that's awkward. I was only going to use water. It didn't work. Okay, not giving up. Got to study specific gravities about paints. But I like these, and really all that matters is what the final product looks like as far as I'm concerned. Oh, I do see some more bare canvas right about here. It's not actually bare, but it's just a little thinner than some other spots. So, all right, leave it alone. Okay, great. So that was video number 9 in my ongoing experiments. I hope you learned something, or at least had fun laughing at the way I was doing this. And I'll be back with another video, again, with more experiments. See you later. Bye-bye. So these are the two pieces now completely dry. I haven't varnished them yet, but I will do that. But as you can see, I did get quite a few cells. This was the first one that I poured where I used just the water, but then I didn't like how it turned out, so I went over it with the paint that I had mixed up with the Floetrol and the alcohol in the bottles, and this is the end result of that. So it's a little bit more purple in it, and in this one it's a little bit more blue. And actually I like both of them very much, but again, my experiment with water and paint still didn't quite work, but I'm not giving up yet. There are more things out there to try, and so I will continue trying. So stay tuned for my next experiments. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.